Lottie.
And I'm Mark.
And this is
Showtime Shenanigans.
How you doing?
I'm doing so good. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks.
Oh, what a day.
It's been a hot minute.
somehow set off Siri at the same time.
Woo! What are we doing today, Mark?
Well, we are interviewing a lovely guy called Blake Allen.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
He's from the Americas.
He's from the New York City, I think.
I actually don't
Or
know.
he's currently living there.
Maybe? Not
I
sure.
think that's what we've been told.
We'll find
If
out.
not, whoopsie. Yeah, hi, Blake. How are you doing?
Sorry about that. Yes, because he recently released an album called The Shards of an Honor Code Junkie, which you will learn what that's about in the episode. I'm not going to get into it now because spoilers, am I right? Am I right? Spoilers. We haven't got an actor of the hour. We haven't got fun fact of the day. We haven't got key change. We're just
going to
doing
dive
an
straight
interview.
into today.
Yeah, we just are going to do, basically the situation is this. We don't have time for a podcast anymore. No, I'm joking. We
both work full-time jobs, and on the days we're not working...
Well, Mark works 6 days a week, so...
Yeah.
You know.
And it used to be back when I was doing the other shows, I'd have Mondays off, and you were working Mondays, obviously, but now I'm off Sundays. So hopefully there will be more episodes coming soon.
Yes. We're not going to, commit to a season as per se. That's English.
Per se?
We're going to just film interviews every so often when we
Or
can
if we
get them.
have an episode idea, we'll film an episode idea.
We're going to call it season 3, but it's not going to be a regular thing.
Upload schedule.
Yes, yes, that's it. We're not having a schedule. We're just...
Schedule.
Schedule's American. Schedule is English. No one says it, but I do.
Okay.
But yeah, hope you enjoy the episode.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm in Dallas right now.
Oh, lovely. Nice.
Yeah.
Is it cold or is it warm there?
It's too warm for my taste.
Fair enough.
I wish.
Come over here, it's always cold. It's never warm.
Yeah. Are you in London or where are you in the UK?
We're down south, nearer to Brighton, if you've heard of it.
Great.
Yeah, nearer to... Yeah. So the sea is close, so it makes it a bit colder. So...
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I love
okay.
the British coastline.
Yeah, it is nice. It's just...
And we're an hour away from London, so it's also just really helpful for that as well.
Close enough to London. It's all good.
Brilliant.
Okay. So we have a list of questions that we're going to ask you, but we need to do a pretend intro now because obviously it's set it all up. Okay. Oh, let me just get comfortable. Right. Do you want to do it?
You can do it.
Do I have to?
Go, yeah.
Okay. Right. It's a bit awkward, isn't it? Okay. So we're here with Blake Allen. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Ticking along.
I lost my voice this morning, which is why I sound like a horse rabbit. Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, well done for making it. Well, you've done a good job.
Yeah, we were worried because we've done it before, and the Zoom's a bit weird sometimes with dialing into another country, and we've had a faff with it before, so we're here. We've made it.
It works great.
Thank goodness. We'll just dive right in. So your album, The Shards of an Honor Code Junkie, right? That was correct.
Yes.
Okay,
good.
Cool.
That is correct.
Can you just tell us what the idea behind it was and how did it come about?
Yeah, so it's it's an autobiographical story of me being raised Mormon, gay, and going to the Mormon University, Brigham Young University in Utah. And it started from, on the 5th year anniversary of my friend's suicide, I kind of was still struggling with the trauma of that. And so my therapist at the time was like, why don't you start telling your story through song and story since you're a composer? And so it started there, sort of like a therapy for myself, but then it started building into a showpiece. And then I learned that the story could help a lot more people than just myself. So that's where it started.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing to go through, really, isn't it? But music, I feel music does help people a lot when they're going through tough times. So yeah.
And I think music's one of those really powerful things as well. Like, you can put so many things into music, and people can get different things from it as well, and it can make you experience things that you don't always know you're feeling in a way that's easy to feel.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
But yeah. So how was it? Yeah. So how was it growing up being Mormon and like dealing and like discovering your sexuality?
It was really hard because it goes against the religion, and not only was it affecting my eternal happiness, it was affecting my parents, and so there was a lot of like self-hate, self-doubt. And so it was kind of like my friend's suicide helped trigger that I had to decide if I wanted to choose self-love and leave the church or kind of be on the same path as my friend. So it was really, really hard. But through the process of writing this piece, my relationship with my family, my relationship with my friends has really grown, and we've begun to understand each other and learn that we can believe different things but still love one another, which is, I think, a positive that has come out of the tale.
I mean, definitely, it's a very positive like message for anyone as well. Like, because lots of people have very religious families, and it's so good to hear that people have like reconcile with their family, and like people do struggle with it sometimes, but going through it and then growing into a normal, happy like relationship again is very important, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, it took 15 years to get to the place that I'm at now. It wasn't easy. There was a time where I didn't talk to my family in the way that I wanted to talk. But then I learned that my parents did love me in the way they knew how to love me. And so I had to change my expectations. And the moment I started changing how I treated them, I was able to accept the love that they could give me, and they could accept the love I could give them. And then it kind of built from there.
People show love in different ways, don't they? And like a church kind of upbringing, I think, it's like it's a whole other world, isn't it? And if you're not fully, I don't want to say if you're not fully comfortable, but like, if you are, if you're gay and you're growing up in a Mormon church, I feel like you're going to kind of feel a bit maybe out of place, and it's all very interesting, I think. It's an interesting way of life. Okay, so the album cover, I want to know who came up with the concept for that. Like, it's very, I don't know, it's very interesting.
Yeah. So the piece deals, like, a lot was cut for the album because I wanted to tell the story in like a storybook album kind of way. But the album's kind of based upon mirrors and mirror shattering to help like understand how you want to build yourself. Like in the final scene, the boy picks up all the mirrors that have shattered and builds another mirror to like look at himself. Like the shards build who you want to be. So the producer of the album, Mitchell Walker, came up with the idea to have like the shadow come out of the boy's head. Because it also alludes to like the gunshots, the suicide, and also the mirror shattering. Yeah, that's where that comes from.
It's a very like pretty like album cover, and then like I think like listening to it as well, like it really does. It makes sense. Reflects it, but it makes sense as you go through the album. Like seeing that, you're like, oh yeah.
I just came up with that off the top of my head. Look at me go. Wow. No, but I know what you mean. It does. It's quite therapeutic. I don't know if that's the right word for it. Like the album, like listening to it, it's very, I don't know, it feels like I'm going through like guided meditation or something.
Oh, great.
Also like the way it starts as well with like the person doing it being like, take deep breaths and all this stuff. It's like gets you into a place where you can like listen to it and emotionally go through it as well, which I think is so interesting, really cool. Like it's the first time I've ever had an album like that, and I really enjoyed listening to it and like discovering your gift.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, thank you. It was kind of really fun. So Allison Fraser, who has been in so many Broadway things, once she signed on, it kind of like adapted to her. Because I've seen her do lots of like monologues and one-woman shows. And she has such a gift of just like capturing the audience and like making you sit in the palm of her hand. So I really wanted to like what was the best way to set the world up was to have her just tell you what's going on. And I was really inspired by Peter Pan, and that's kind of how Peter Pan opens.
Yeah.
Like just like getting into the mind of the character of Wendy and like her own world that she lives in. So it kind of came from that also.
Very nice. So yeah. What question are we on? Wow.
Sort of. I mean, we can actually that one make more sense first.
Cool. So, how did it feel working on the album with like so many different like people, like especially like the big Broadway community? How was it like working with someone like the big stars, as it were?
It's intimidating because when you have a big name, it comes with a lot of expectation, not only from the star but also from the audience that follows the star. But at the end of the day, I love to surround myself with people who are really wonderful to work with, who have such good energy. And so, yes, I'm like Teal Wicks, I'm like her biggest fan, but she's become my friend. Wicked, the Cher Show. And so when you're in the recording room working with them, they want to not only make you happy, like you meaning me, like the composer, but also like to tell the story properly. So it's actually really easy and fun. But I always love to pair superstars with people that no one knows, so that like I can give the opportunity to people who don't have those opportunities yet.
I mean, it's nice seeing like, especially with like theatre as well at the moment. Like, I think it's so nice to see new people coming into it. Like because some people like come to fame like through not fame, but like they've been recognised through TikTok, and then that's helped them express their dreams of becoming like the next West End star, the next Broadway star sort of thing. It's helped them get into it, and it's really like nice to see people that have really worked hard to be there, and has been helped nicely into.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been given that opportunity.
I always say that. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I was gonna say they've been given that opportunity through TikTok, like Mark said, or like with people like you that have just grabbed people that are small and not like these massive stars, and you've given them that opportunity, which is cool.
Right. Yeah, I always talent is talent, and so. Just because you've been in the movie or been on Broadway does not mean that you have a talent. And just because you haven't been in the movie or on Broadway does not mean the talent's there. So I always like to, for instance, like Cree Carrico is my friend, and she's the opera singer on it. She's not a big name, but she just sang a high C sharp in her parents' closet. So I want to showcase people who actually have the goods and amplify the voice that they have.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's a stupid question, but are you a big Broadway fan? Do you go and see shows a lot?
Yes, I'm a big Broadway nerd. I have been my whole life. I was raised on Broadway.
Good. I like that works with the Mormon church.
yeah. I was raised on Disney and Angela Lansbury and Julie Andrews, so...
Wonderful.
I mean, a brilliant mix.
Isn't everyone raised on Angela Lansbury and Julie Andrews?
They are the two, idols of Disney.
They're so good. Yeah.
They were my nannies growing up,
Yeah. No, I just thought I'd ask, because, some people, they're more on, obviously you've used Broadway stars, in your album, or, musical theatre performers, but, you might not be into it. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I'm not really into the fad of making movies into musicals.
Okay, yeah.
I would agree.
This has been around for a long time, but I want to see Hades Town, for instance, or everyone's talking about Jamie, original ideas, 6. Just I like that style than Pretty Woman the musical, or Tootsie the musical, or Mrs. Doubtfire. Let's come up with some new ideas.
Yeah, it can be a bit.
Yeah, it can be, but also because I feel because I work in the West End, I work on Evan Hansen, which obviously was a new piece when it came out.
Yeah.
So it was and it's a very different feel, whereas working on a show that already has
a fan base.
A fan
really.
base or like a pre. Because before COVID, I worked on Les Mis, and now I work on Evan Hansen, and feeling like the different audiences. Obviously, Les Mis is like the big show of the world, but also like because it had a fan base because of the books beforehand, there was also that sort of expectation of what you want the show to be. Whereas having a whole new source material also allows you to show different things. And
that's so true.
it's very different, and I love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Fantasy Opera, part of the reason why it's so popular is because it's been like the horror story for centuries, right?
Yeah.
So you go in already knowing the story, you already love it. You want to see the chandelier fall, right?
Yeah.
Les Mis, you want to see the turntable.
Oh.
So, like the gimmick that.
The Revolve.
Oh.
They got rid of the Revolve. It doesn't exist over here anymore.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
no.
yeah, sorry. Basically, Les Mis, it closed for summer of 2019 and then reopened because they redid the theatre. And one of the things they said to us, they were like, yeah, we're getting rid of the Revolve because it caused too many problems because it was like 30 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, and now they've brought in a new piece of set that comes in from the side, and that also has problems, so...
Oh my gosh.
The art of theatre, what can we say?
So, what's like the Les Mis no-fly zone? Like in Wicked, when the cherry picker doesn't work?
Oh,
You also have to lie
yeah.
on the ground, like doing Les Mis.
Well.
Oh my god, this is so good. No, you
Which
do it.
which one?
I was talking about Chavez suicide.
Oh, okay. There's a new thing with art with the new West End production where in Chavez Suicide he gets lifted up and taken back,
On this
and it's only like
thing.
flies, and it's very cool. On the opening night, it didn't work, and it was the most awkward thing that ever happened because obviously at that point it was never rehearsed. There was no like plan B rehearsed, but since then there is now. But he just sort of had to awkwardly walk backwards and be like, oh no.
Because he stands on like this bridge thing, or bridge.
The bridge.
And when this thing lifts him up, the bridge like separates and goes off. So he just kind of stepped off this bridge backwards and went back and was like, ah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
That's so funny.
But
It was a great night to be watching the show.
I wasn't sat in, I was outside, so I didn't see it, unfortunately. But I think other than that, it's not like...
There's nothing that can go wrong that will make the whole show...
There's not like an alternative. Anything else that goes wrong, they have to stop the show and like fix things, I think.
Yeah.
Like the barricades and
Because it's now like new massive set pieces, so if they go wrong, it goes wrong.
It's wrong. They just need to stop.
But I miss... Sorry, you go.
I saw Aladdin in Toronto on the first preview of Aladdin, and Jasmine goes, "Do you trust me?" Aladdin goes, "Do you trust me?" And Jasmine says yes, and you heard this huge screeching sound because the magic carpet destroyed the floor.
Oh no!
And so they had to stop the show for 2 hours.
Oh.
It was just the funniest thing.
Oh my
We
God.
love when theater doesn't work.
Yes, it's the best bit.
It's one of my favourite bits about working as well. Is the little weird things that no one quite realises that go wrong, and you're like,
You're like, aha! I see what happened there.
Yesterday at work, we had someone miss the first beat in one of the songs, so it just was like, and they're like,
and they didn't say
and
that.
they were just like, and they just their brain just wasn't. They froze, and we're like.
Come on, go, quick, get that line in. Oh no.
But it was very fun. After a bit of a manic day, it made me look giggle.
Fair enough. Yeah, live theatre, there's nothing quite like it. But then live music as well, like concerts or operas or whatever. That it's just like a whole other experience, isn't it? I feel like you're more immersed in that kind of. When you're sat in a venue, you're listening to this thing you've paid to see whatever it is or hear whatever it is, and you're just that kind of is how your album feels because of the whole how it's set up with what was I saying? meditation kind of thing going on. I feel like that's kind of just how you feel when you listen to it, even if you're at home. I felt immersed. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's kind of the point. It's not an album where you can just jump track to track, right?
Yeah.
It's not on a playlist.
Yeah, you could just click shuffle and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but it was modeled after those Disneyland storybooks, like Jungle Book, where there was a narrator, and it'd be like, and now turn the page. Kind of. or go in and out of song, where you can just sit there and listen to it. It's only, 68 minutes? So you just press play, you sit there, and then it's done. Take a Kleenex and go on a journey.
Yeah, it is emotional.
I wasn't really expecting it. I kind of got in from work, put it on, and I was like, this is going to be nice. And I was like, okay.
It's good. It's not a bad thing that it is emotional.
No.
It's like, it makes you think.
It's also nice to hear, it's nice to have an experience to open the emotions up and
it's honest.
get it out.
Yeah. Okay, so moving slightly off of theatre. Well, kind of. What's it like working with the Drag Race star that is Tina Burner?
Oh my gosh, that's why I'm in Dallas. My Tina Burner hat.
Oh, love it.
It's really, really great, which is why I don't have a voice. Oh my God, I just have to tell you. So I don't talk in the entire show, except we do Sweet Transvestite. And so I say the line like, I'm glad we caught you at home. And it just didn't come out. So it just all of a sudden didn't have a voice. So it's really funny.
Oh.
Tina Burner's a workhorse. She's a linebacker in drag. She's a monster in the best way. But she's such a talent and she's so kind. It's been really fun to go around the country, and we're going to Canada next year, and show people that she sings. She doesn't sit there and do the lip sync and the ka. It's like she tells her story. So I think people are really impressed with the fact that she is more than what she was edited on the TV show.
Yeah.
I've known her for 10 years, and it's always a thrill to work with her.
Yeah,
She's always so kind.
TV does that, doesn't it? It sort of edits in the bits that they want to create drama or whatever, and sometimes you don't see the real person until they're not on the show anymore, and then suddenly they're doing their own thing, they're doing their live show, they've got their own TV show, whatever, and you're like, oh, I see. They're a real human being. Who would have known?
Yeah, for sure.
And with drag especially, I think. Well, I mean, drama is half of RuPaul's Drag Race, isn't it? That's what the show is.
Right.
So you kind of. Yeah, it must be nice that. I mean, obviously you know her well, but it must be nice to sort of have that relationship where you know the real her and. You get to see her flourish on stage and show her real self.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We always talk about how you look at her season 13, and you remember the red, orange, and yellow. Whether it was a good choice or not to do that, every single day Tina gets texts from people saying, look, it's McDonald's, it's Tina Burner, right? Or, I don't know, it's just memorable. And then it's also fun to, we were in Austin for 2 days yesterday and the day before, and just to see, packed houses just kind of fawn over her and be so excited, ranging from, an 18-year-old to, a 70-year-old, and they're just so excited to see someone so joyful. And, because lots of times when the RuPaul girls go on tour, they, don't really talk and tell their story. So it's nice to, see people just excited to get to know her. Yeah, it's nice. She's my friend. She's my girlfriend.
Love it. And aren't you married to a drag person, star, queen?
I'm married to Marty. I'm married to Marty Gould Cummings. They started Shade, Queens NYC, and they just ran for New York City Council and got second.
Ooh.
So they were the first non-binary candidate in New York City history, and the first drag artist in New York. So, it was really wonderful to kind of see that happen as well. And then we tour as well. So I'm on 2 simultaneous tours, which is kind of fun.
Oh my, you are busy.
You're just working.
I'm grateful.
That's mad.
Gotta pay for that New York City rent.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, I've not lived in New York, but we went for 5 days, and that was enough, money-wise.
Yeah, it's wild. It's really wild.
But anyway, whilst on the subject of New York, what was it like performing at 54 Below and being there?
The iconic venue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's iconic. I've been performing there since it opens, and I had my own show there, which is great. It's really nice. It's like a fancy dinner supper club. It's cool because it's like in below the Studio 54 of the golden age, you know, the 70s. So it still kind of has that like glamour vibe. They have a really nice piano.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite pianos to play on in the city, which is hard to find.
Fair.
Yeah, no, 54 Below is a great venue.
Because I feel like I've seen loads of people, like loads of big old like Broadway artists perform there, and I think it's like one of the like iconic.
Not actually
places.
in person.
Yeah.
No, not in person, but like I've seen videos of people, and it's like wow, that like it seems like one of those iconic places to be and like do theatre-y stuff. So yeah,
it's nice because you can see huge superstars like Liz Calloway or Megan Hilty or Cheetah Rivera for a really affordable ticket in a venue that holds 150 people. So you get to be up close to artists that you know you really only see on the stage.
Yeah,
So that's what's like really cool about it.
It's an intimate venue, but I mean I don't know if it is as iconic over in the States, but I know that the West End community are like when we see, you know, so and so's performing at 54 Below, we're like, oh, whoa, they've made it, they're there. I don't know, is it?
No, definitely, it's definitely a bucket list kind of venue.
Yeah.
But I think like everything, I've been living in the city over a decade, and so like, you know, like Carnegie Hall, for instance, I'm grateful. I've played there several times, so it loses its charm after a while. You kind of have to pinch yourself and go, oh yeah, tell your 16-year-old self what you're doing. You're playing 54 Below, and then you're like, oh yeah, great. This is such an important venue. There's so many people who would love to play here. Be grateful, right? So it's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, it does help like when like you get into these big things to remind yourself like
where you are,
where I am, like where you are. Like you're like, oh, when I was 12, however old, you're like, this would be like the biggest thing for me to do, and now I'm doing it. I'm getting to do it. You're like, this is actually a dream, and it's what I want to do. And like, I think it sparks you to keep going. Sometimes when you're having a hard day, you're like, I've done these really cool things.
Oh right. It's like, you know, being on West End or Broadway. Doing 8 shows a week gets monotonous and tiring.
Yeah.
And sometimes the doldrums of any job, then you go, oh, wait, there are millions of people who would dream for this job. So, like, be a little grateful and just, like, it puts a little pip in your step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any venues that you're still waiting to play? Like, one day you want to play certain places? Anywhere in the world, not necessarily the US.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, all these venues I've done, I want to be, like, it's like my show where I'm not just the music director, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I want to be at Carnegie Hall where it's like my music. I've had stuff of mine performed there, but like a night of Blake Ellen stuff.
Yeah.
Or something. The Palladium would be a dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that's like a huge dream.
Yeah.
I'm not Lady Gaga.
Not yet.
Not yet. You could be.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, I have an opportunity that might happen where Shards might be playing the Venice State Opera House in the summer. I don't know if I should say that because I haven't signed the contract, but it might be playing there. So that would be a huge dream. So fingers crossed it happens. Otherwise, I just embarrass myself.
That's all right. It's fine.
Yeah, so like that would be like a huge bucket list.
Yeah, in my head for some reason I had the Royal Albert Hall is quite a big deal over here.
Oh yeah. It's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Shirley Bassey, Royal Albert Hall, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what a place. I love the Royal Albert Hall. I have been actually.
Sorry, yeah. Okay.
I had another question and I can't remember what it was. It was just like off the top of my head. Oh no, it's gone. Oh, what instruments do you play?
Great. Piano, viola, and violin. So I started on piano when I was 3, added violin when I was 10, and then kind of moved over to viola for my undergrad, and then went back to piano. So I played in Tootsie. I was a sub on Tootsie on violin. I played in Misery on viola, and I toured on the country on piano. So those are my instruments.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Because I can't play any, so just playing one instrument.
Oh, no.
Playing one instrument, someone playing one instrument, I'm like, okay, that's cool. When you just add more in, I'm like, okay, stop. Like, I'm so jealous. I think that's all we have. Unless there's anything else you want to just tell us about, or if you have any fun stories, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about fun stories. Thank you so much for letting me talk about this. I always say that the goal with Shards was to, come from a place of my own therapy, but I've gotten so many messages from people who are current students at BYU, people who aren't Mormon who have messaged me, and I hope it brings a light to someone in a dark corner who's feeling alone. And I always say, if Shards helps one person feel loved and not take their own life, then everything is worth it. So I just hope that people feel love, and share their light with the world, because everyone has a special light to give.
Absolutely.
Well, we feel love, so you've got two people there.
Thanks. I feel love from you too.
Oh, wonderful. Thrilled. Okay, well, yeah, thanks for talking to us. And
Thank you.
yeah, we'll post this episode and hopefully spreads it over in the UK, and then people listen over here as well. Cause
Oh, yeah, that'd be wonderful.
okay, thank you. See you later.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching this interview with the lovely...
Blake Allen.
Yeah. It was a great time. We had a lovely time talking to him. He's such a lovely guy.
What a
and
man.
it was great to hear his story. And I hope you guys go listen to his album.
Which is called, don't get it wrong, The Shards of an Honor Code Junkie.
You can
There you
find
go.
it all your places to go find it. iTunes, Spotify.
It did pretty well. It was number 1 on the iTunes classical album chart for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And it was in the top 40 on the top 100 albums. So there you go. It did very well.
So yeah, go check that out. Go check him out and send him some love. Thank you so
Yes.
much for watching,
listening to us.
and being here.
There's many episodes. I think this is episode number 50. Don't even know. 50
50.
something. 50.
Insert number
58, 9,
10.
something like that. And yeah, go check out our other
Go.
episodes. We have a few other interviews that we've previously done,
Yeah.
including Callum Heinrich, Jodie Steele, Georgina Castle, Grace Mowat, and David Loud. I think that's all of them. And then obviously now today's Blake. And we've got some more lined up. As we say,
Hopefully.
this season is going to hopefully be sort of just an interviewee kind of thing. 55. So this is number 56.
No,
Well, this is number 55. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, we got some other interviews lined up. We're very excited. The next one is someone that I feel like everyone's seen in the pandemic on TikTok. Oh, a little
Ooh.
cheeky. Us
I
sprinkling
have an
it in
idea
there.
from you, guess maybe.
Oh, we're going to have a
Ooh.
chat, and we will leave you to watch this episode. Well, no, you've already watched it, but go listen again. Why not? Give us
Click
that.
repeat. We'll go to the next one. Click
Skip over.
somewhere over there.
Woohoo! Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, bye.